So this is basically a follow-up, but I wanted to mention this because if people paid more, most people don't want to pay attention to what CFOs say, but it's really important nowadays because even though really what they're doing, they're testing all their tactics on the freestanding psych hospitals, in my opinion, but they've already moved it into the main hospitals. It just may not be on a grand scale. It seems like with healthcare, everything that sickos want to try out, they always do to mental health. That's been the history. And sadly, what is happening is that because there's no longer this division between the business end of healthcare and the care end of healthcare, and now the business end is all of, they've taken care, and it's just now all about the CFOs and their minions, is that what happens is it becomes like the situation I talked about the other day where are the chief nursing officers, are the people, are they any different, are these leaders, are they any different but on a smaller level than the guards at Auschwitz? Because they go along with the corrupt system because they figure, well, there's nothing I can do, these people decide. Well, no, maybe it's time to innovate a new path because these people will not be able to maintain this. Even if they can under Biden, eventually another administration will come in. I do not think this bullshit will be tolerated. So do you want to be one of the leaders that was going along with corruption? Because going along with the CFOs injecting themselves, the administrative departments of hospitals injecting themselves so much so into the bedside care, and you trying to cover and help them do it, it shows that you shouldn't be a leader, quite frankly, really. And for people that wonder, I just, like, why do I risk it? Yeah, I call out even the place I work for, so I don't really care. I don't care. I've you get to this point where it's just exhausting. It's exhausting because it has never improved. It's gotten worse and worse and worse. And I don't ever expect the higher educated to do the right thing. I don't. They're really, like a lot of the media too, especially in the financial world, is really trying to make CFOs look like that they have compassion and care. No, these people can't. They won't have it. I've seen it too many times at too many places. When you can disregard, when it's more important to you to control everybody on the unit to the point where you won't listen to a nurse or doctor that says, look, we shouldn't take this patient. We are, we're so short-staffed. We have all these crises happening. We have staff that's putting everybody in danger, and they disregard that you're never going to have respect for these people. You can't have respect for people like that, because they don't have respect for you. So these are different things that different CFOs from different healthcare have said, and they're so arrogant, and they so think that they have this in the bag. But I think that, well, that's kind of good in a way because they've really stepped into it. Because even though under Joe Biden they can get away with all this bullshit, because this is globalism, that's ultimately what it all goes back to. If you want to get on board with globalism, then you're certainly somebody that shouldn't be leading healthcare. Obviously, I said in my last video they love the AI stuff, and they're going to bring that in more and more and more, because again, they don't care about care. When you want to bring computers into where they're taking more and more staff away, and they're replacing a computer to be care, doesn't that just tell you right there the CFOs and their minions are psychopaths? Yeah. Their mindset is one of they don't have empathy. Artificial intelligence continues to evolve in healthcare and holds particular promise for unburdening workers and providers. So this is what they always tell workers and providers. This is going to unburden you. This is going to help us with staffing. They've said this for a decade at least, always. But the only person it ever benefits, never the provider, never the healthcare worker, only the business end. So here's some more bullshit. Artificial intelligence continues to evolve in healthcare and holds particular promise for unburdening workers and providers, as I said, from tackling arduous and time-consuming administrative tasks such as navigating coding and billing and prior authorization processes. Well, then who's deciding? So AI. So I've already seen some articles where nurses are saying that AI is, because some AI is built into the Epic software, and Epic is what nurses chart on, unless you're where like places I'm at. Freestanding psychs, that's why they're up to something even more sinister in my opinion, but we do paper charting. But even if they do use a computer system, they don't use Epic like every other hospital does. They use a program called HCS. So, yeah, it's shady, all of it. So, but in some hospitals where they've introduced this AI doing the coding and billing, nurses have said they're coding wrong here. Like, so that's really dangerous. And who is that? So AI doesn't have a license, so who will be held responsible for that? You see what I'm saying? There's never any accountability or responsibility. Oh no, AI decided. Yeah, this is why machines shouldn't be deciding anything. But in healthcare, they love it because, you know, it's all about getting more money. There's huge opportunities to scale support patient care. They don't support patient care. Automate clinical workflows and address gaps and transitions in patient care. I'm going to read that again. This is how micromanaging they want to be. This is why nobody stays at these places. This is why I don't give a shit what they do, because they've made it so miserable that it's so toxic. It's such a slavery system, at least where I'm at, that I just don't care what they do. I mean, I would sooner be poor and have nothing than, and really I am poor and I don't have a whole lot anyway. So I would rather though have nothing than continue down this track. There comes a point where you're trying to be this person in the system where I know I can't change the system, but I at least, will call the system out and how it's operating, because that needs to be done. So again, what that says, there's huge opportunities to scale, support patient care, automate clinical workflows, and address gaps and transitions in patient care. So they want to, this is why they have their cameras everywhere, they want to, that's why they say, nope, we want the patient and intake back in 90 minutes. And granted, you don't want them there for a long time. But it's like they go out of their way to put you in dangerous situations. That's the other thing. I think these CFOs are dangerous to a certain degree, many of them. But they're covered. They're covered. And because they would say, oh, I'm being so silly. Well, of course they would say that because they have their minions of leaders below them that help protect them. And they just go along with it because they think, well, this is, who I work for. We have to do what we're told, right? And so that's where it becomes that situation where you become, because most of those leaders aren't thinking, it's like you're no different than the guards outside that guarded Auschwitz. You're really not. I mean, it's a smaller level, but when you have these people running health, and you don't even call it health care anymore because they've taken care away. They don't care. No matter how much you tell, they do care to a certain extent, because there was an article also this week that was about how they know that they've lost trust. But this is bullshit. It's like, no, you will never be able to gain trust back again, because first of all, you shouldn't trust psychopaths. It's not an exaggeration. You shouldn't. These people will just say this bullshit about loyalty and trust. And they said building back that loyalty and trust comes with improvements to communication and reminding employees what they do every day is important and saves lives. No, I'm trying to save lives. So yes, what I'm doing is important. Most people would probably say not. But no, it is. And what I'm trying to save lives from is the administrative state and the chief financial and CEOs of the hospital. They are the people that put everybody in danger.